What's up, CFM? This is Coach Matt with our Monday workout. We got a little tune-up plus deadlift workout for today. Let's begin with the warm-up. We're gonna go 2 rounds through, going from front to back. Shuttle runs are about 40 feet a piece, so I'm gonna get 8 reps of a shuttle run, so that's down and back 4 times. When you finish that, we have a bunch of leg and lower extremity stretches, dynamic range of motion stuff. So hurdle over, hurdle under. So I'm gonna go traveling from one direction to the other. I'm gonna step up and over like I'm going over a hurdle, and then I'm gonna go back towards my back leg and sweep across the ground to go under the hurdle. And then I'm gonna pivot. I'm gonna go up and over, back towards the back leg, and under. And I'm just gonna rotate back and forth like that, over, under, all the way down. Next one is a knee up, hip out, single leg deadlift, which is just a combo of a bunch of different movements. So start off with the knee up in the air, try to get the knee above parallel, and then without swiveling your hips, try to open your hips, knee out, and then kick that same leg straight back into the single leg deadlift. And then we're stepping up and forward and going to the next leg. Knee up, hip out, single leg deadlift. All right, so a little bit of balance, a little bit of hip mobility. You should feel a little squeeze in the glute and the piriformis as you rotate that knee to the outside. And again, try not to let your hips swivel when you rotate the knee to the outside. So I don't want to rotate my whole body, just the femur as it goes into the pelvis, all right? Next one, we'll go bunny hops on the way down. So just little pops of the toes and then broad jumps on the way back. Larger jumps, but again, on the broad jumps, we're focusing on the jump and land, decelerating, landing balanced, right? Absorbing that forward momentum. Then we'll go drinking bird, followed by walking leg swings. So the drinking bird, I have both knees slightly bent. Weight is distributed evenly between the 2 feet, so I don't want to be too far on the back foot or too far on the front foot. I want to be kind of right in the middle. And we're feeling that good stretch of the front hamstring. And then on the way back, it's a walking leg swing. Whichever leg is swinging or whichever leg is touching the ground, try to keep that heel planted firmly into the ground. So if I push up on my toe like that, you see my heel break up off the ground, that kind of rolls my pelvis underneath it and prevents me from stretching the hamstring. So that's why I want to keep that heel on the ground. And then the last one will be 8 reps of a band row from the rig. So we're just rowing, pulling towards your body, right, to warm up the upper body, the shoulders and the lats when we do that. So when we get into the deadlifts, we are coming off of the 1 rep max deadlifts. So this week we're on a down phase, right? So we should use our new percentage, but we're in the like less than half your max for sets of 8. So these should feel like enough weight that you feel the movement and you're not being sloppy with the movement and kind of like monitoring your tempo, right? So, but we're definitely in that 40 to 50% range for the deadlifts, right? And when you're finished with that, I want you to set it down, rest a little bit, and then go through the accessory set, which is like a giant set. So the first of our giant set movements is gonna be a diagonal over the shoulder medicine ball throw. So we're gonna be with the light balls and with the dead blow balls only. So just the tire tread TRX balls that only bounce like 1/4 of an inch, right? We don't want them the ones like the green and black ones or the yellow or the red ones, any of those that bounce a lot, because you're gonna end up throwing it right behind your head. I don't want anybody to get whacked in the back of the head with this, because we are trying to throw pretty fast and aggressively. Whenever we do these rotational medicine ball throws, we're looking to create power, which is indicated by the amount of noise that you make snapping that ball to the wall, right? So we're trying to create power, trying to create that rotary torque as we go away from the leg that's driving into the ground, right? So I'm gonna start at my pocket, right, on one side, and I'm gonna throw over the opposite side. And as I throw over that opposite side, whichever shoulder I'm throwing over, that knee is gonna crunch up and across my body, right? So I'm gonna start at the opposite pocket, throw over behind my head, and then recover my ball. And if I do it right, it should end up like right between my feet. Close, yeah. All right, so that's where you wanna be. We're gonna do 8 on the right and 8 on the left. And I want you to make a loud noise, all right? Anybody that breaks a ball gets a prize. I don't know what the prize is yet because nobody's broken a ball yet. We'll figure that out when we get there. 8 reps on each side of that diagonal medicine ball throw, right under the bikes, 30 calories for the guys, 24 for the ladies. Plyo push-ups. So however you can break contact with the ground through the force of your pushing, right? If you can clap That's great. If you can just like float your hands a little bit, that's fine. The only thing I don't want you to do for the plyo push-ups is do it on an elevated surface like a adjustable pull-up bar or the Matadors or a bench or a box. If you need to use assistance where your body is up high, I just want you to increase the tempo. So control it on the way down, push hard on the way up, but don't let go. All right. So the goal on that one is the velocity of muscle contraction. So I'm trying to push hard or like punch away from me when I do that. It's a small set. It's only 8 reps. So try to make each one of them very explosive. Next, we're going to go into a single arm row, and you can do this either supported or unsupported. Unsupported would just be like I'm leaning over and I'm pulling away from the ground, just trying to brace myself. Supported would be laying on top of a bench and using the bench to support your chest. If you get discomfort in your low back just from the isometric position or the static position of holding yourself in that bent over position while you're rowing, use the supported position like a bench, like laying down on top of a bench at an incline to do that. 8 reps on each arm, and then 20 seconds of a seated leg raise. So our seated leg raise, this is working on your core strength, your hip flexor strength. And what we'd like to see is my hands are forward of my hips, so somewhere between my hips and my knees, and I just want to pull my toes off the ground, or my heels off the ground for 20 seconds. So it's like this. Try not to be leaning back when you do it. I want you to try to be leaning forward, right? So shoulders slightly forward of the hips when you do it. That gets those lower abdominals a little bit more effectively than if you're laying back, right? You don't feel it as much. Okay, so just try to get shoulders forward of the hips, even if your knees have to bend a little bit. And you can see like my hands are in line with my knees right here, and I'm really fighting against the tension in my hamstrings with my abs, right? And that will help with our finishing position on movements like a toes to bar, which may or may not be coming up later this week. Hope you guys had a great one. That's our Monday, and I'll see you on Tuesday.